Okay, let's dive in. Picture this. You're out in the African bush, maybe the savannah, and you see this flash of movement. It looks kind of like a mouse, maybe, but with this impossibly long snout, almost like a tiny trunk.
Yeah, it's an animal that's caused centuries of head scratching for naturalists. Is it a mole? Some tiny antelope like a dik-dik, a shrew, obviously, or, and this sounds crazy, a miniature elephant.
Right. And the mystery deepens because these things are, well, incredibly secretive. They live across huge parts of Africa, near millions of people, yet most folks never, ever lay eyes on one.
They really are Africa's little secretive sprinters.
And importantly for our deep dive today, we need to address the name.
Mhm.
We're retiring elephant shrew. It just doesn't fit, does it?
No, not at all. That name was purely based on like the general shape and that long nose. It's super misleading once you know the real story.
So we're calling them by the name used more locally and by scientists now, the Sengi, S-E-N-G-I.
Exactly. Sengi feels much more appropriate. And even their map throws up questions. They're all over the place, Morocco down to South Africa.
But weirdly absent from sub-Saharan West Africa. It looks like prime territory, right? Why wouldn't they be there?
It's another piece of the puzzle. They just avoid it. It adds to this whole identity crisis they seem to have.
Because when you first see one, your brain instantly says insectivore. It looks like a classic shrew or maybe even Malay, that kind of small, busy ground dweller.
And visually, you're not wrong. That resemblance. It's textbook convergent evolution. They do the same job in the ecosystem as true shrews eating insects. So evolution kind of shaped them similarly.
Ah, okay. So they look the part, but underneath.
Underneath, the similarity has just vanished. It's only skin deep.
Okay, wait. Because this is where it gets really mind-bending. I think we need to slow down here because the sources threw me for a loop. You're telling me this little creature, maybe the size of my phone, belongs somewhere completely different on the family tree.
Yes. You have to rewind the clock. Way back, think of Africa, maybe from the Cretaceous until, say, 20 million years ago as this giant isolated island continent. A biological arc, basically.
Okay, cut off from the rest of the world. Evolution doing its own thing there.
Precisely. So before the big groups we recognize easily today arrived, the cats and dogs, the rodents, the typical hoofed animals, Africa had its own unique set of mammals evolving together, completely separately.
Right, an original cast of African characters.
Exactly. And the descendants of those originals, they form this exclusive group, a superorder called Afrotheria. And that is the club the Sengi belongs to.
Afrotheria. Okay, so the Sengi is a tiny member of this ancient African club. Who else is in this club, just to give us a sense of the company it keeps?
Well, its closest living relatives, get ready for this, include aardvarks.
Okay, quirky, but it makes some sense, maybe.
Hyraxes, those little rock rabbit things.
Right.
Manatees and dugongs.
Sea cows. Wait.
And yes, elephants.
No, seriously, elephants. This little thing zipping around on the ground is closer to an elephant than it is to the shrew, it looks like.
Genetically speaking, yes, absolutely. Closer to a 10-ton elephant than a 10-gram true shrew. It's astonishing, isn't it?
That is genuinely wow. I would never, ever have guessed that.
And it makes the size difference within Sengi themselves interesting, too. There are about 20 different species. You've got the tiny ones, like the Etendeka round-eared Sengi that used to be called the shed elephant shrew. It's just this perfect little ball of fur, maybe 13 centimeters long, palm-sized.
Adorable, but still related to an elephant.
And then you have its bigger cousin, the golden-rumped Sengi. It's maybe 3 times larger, but still, pretty small overall.
Okay, so whether they're phone-sized or a bit bigger, their whole life seems dictated by this incredibly high metabolism.
Yeah.
They live life in the fast lane constantly.
Oh, absolutely. It's exhausting just thinking about it. They're like little high-octane furnaces. Some species apparently spend up to 80% of their waking hours just searching for food.
80%? That's almost their entire day, just finding enough fuel.
Constantly moving. And their eating technique is quite specific, too. They use that famous long snout, but not for chewing. It's for probing, like constantly tapping and sniffing the leaf litter, looking for ants, termites, little grubs.
And when they find something,
no nibbling. They whip out this surprisingly long tongue described as massive for their size and just flick the food straight down. Zap. Gone.
Someone described them as miniature anteaters on stilts. That sounds about right.
It really does capture the image, doesn't it? Those long legs and that probing snout.
So if you boil down the Sengi life, it's basically 3 things. Hunt bugs, patrol their territory like tiny sentinels, and maintain their trails. That last one sounds critical.
Oh, it's everything. The trail system dictates their survival, even their rather peculiar social lives.
Ah, yes, the Sengi marriage, or lack thereof. They're monogamous, technically, right? They pair up.
They do. A male and female pair will share and defend a territory quite aggressively, actually. Females chase off other females, males chase off other males.
Sounds standard, but the sources say they don't spend a lot of time together. What does that mean?
It means their partnership is, well, extremely practical. Minimalist monogamy. They share the land, but that's about it. They forage alone, they sleep in separate nests, they pretty much actively avoid each other most of the time.
So not exactly cozy domestic life.
Not at all. And if one partner dies, the survivor finds a new mate almost immediately. The bond isn't emotional. It's about territory defense and, crucially, maintaining those trails.
Okay, let's focus on these trails. Why are pathways so vital? This seems key for understanding them.
Because Sengi are built for speed. They are incredibly fast sprinters. Some can outrun the average human over short bursts. They're like little biological race cars.
Wow. Okay, so speed is their main defense against predators.
Exactly. But you can only use that speed if you have a clearer one-way. Their survival depends on this intricate network of meticulously clean paths they maintain through their territory.
Meticulously clean.
Absolutely. A single fallen leaf, a stray pebble, a tiny twig could trip them up when they're escaping at top speed.
Yeah.
And that tiny stumble, that fraction of a second, is all a predator needs.
And what kind of predators are we talking about?
Oh, plenty. Snakes like mambas and forest cobras. Birds of prey like martial eagles, Varro's eagle owls. Anything quick enough to snatch them.
So the trails are literally life or death highways. A clean path means escape. A cluttered one means lunch for someone else.
Precisely. Speed is useless without a clear track, which leads to this one fascinating bit of actual teamwork.
Ah, glimmer of cooperation.
A very specific one. When the female is nursing young, she needs to conserve energy and minimize her time exposed out in the open. So guess who steps up?
The male.
Male. He does about 80% of the trail clearing and maintenance during that period. It's not about affection, it's pure logistics, keeping the escape routes clear so the female can focus on the offspring with less risk. Hyper-focused, minimal cooperation.
That's fascinating. It's cooperation reduced to its absolute essential function for survival.
Right. Now, speed and trails are plan A, but they sometimes have a plan B that's pretty bold.
Go on.
Sometimes when a Sengi spots a predator, instead of instantly bolting down a trail, it screams at it.
It screams.
Yeah.
Like a shriek of terror.
No, apparently it's more like a defiant announcement, a loud, sharp sound. The message seems to be, hey, I see you, and guess what? I'm faster than you. Don't even bother trying to chase me.
That takes some serious nerve for such a small animal. A preemptive warning.
It seems to work often enough. It startles the predator and maybe convinces it to look for easier prey.
And isn't there something about the golden-rumped Sengi's rear end?
Ah, yes. There's speculation it's hard to prove definitively that the shiny, almost iridescent patch on its rump isn't just for show.
What's the theory?
That it acts like a visual signal, maybe amplifying that warning, like flashing a bright, I see you, I'm ready to bolt sign at the predator. A shiny evolutionary bumper sticker confirming its confidence.
Incredible. Just layers upon layers of adaptation in this tiny package. Okay, so we've hammered home that Sengi are not true shrews. But the confusion persists because of the old name.
Yeah.
What are true shrews like then? Are they interesting too?
Oh, absolutely. It's important to make the distinction because true shrews are evolutionary marvels in their own right, just completely different. They belong to a totally separate group, the order Eulipitifla, different origins, different rules for life.
Okay, give us a few quick highlights. How do true shrews differ dramatically from our Sengi?
Well, let's talk about extremes. Take the Etruscan shrew. It is the smallest living mammal on Earth. Weighs about 2 grams, maybe the weight of a couple of paper clips.
2 grams. Tiny.
And its heart beats up to 1,500 times a minute. To fuel that insane metabolism, it has to eat about twice its own body weight in insects every single day, or it dies. That's a whole different level of metabolic pressure than the Sengis.
Okay, point taken. Smallest mammal, insane metabolism. What else?
How about strength? There's the hero shrew.
Hero shrew. What makes it heroic?
Its spine. It has this incredibly complex, unique backbone with interlocking vertebrae. It makes it unbelievably resistant to crushing forces.
How resistant?
Get this. People have reportedly stood on a hero shrew, which only weighs about 100 grams, mind you, without injuring it.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Someone stood on it. That's bizarre and amazing. The Sengi relies on speed. The hero shrew on impossible toughness.
Exactly. Totally different survival strategies. And then there's senses. Think about the common shrew. Its heart still races at maybe 1,000 beats per minute,
It's still frantic,
but it has a trick most other small mammals don't. It can echolocate,
like a bat.
a much more rudimentary system,
Yeah.
yeah. But it uses clicks and listens for the echoes to navigate in the dark or through dense undergrowth. The Sengi needs clear sightlines and clear paths. The common shrew can map its world with sound.
Wow. Okay, so true shrews are definitely fascinating creatures in their own league. Venomous saliva in some, echolocation, completely different toolkit.
Totally different branch of the mammal tree, facing similar challenges but with very different evolutionary answers.
So wrapping up the Sengi story. We have this tiny sprinter, looks like a shrew, genetically closer to an elephant, living life on meticulously clean escape routes. Its whole existence is about speed, vigilance, and surprisingly minimal cooperation.
It's a perfect example of how sometimes the weirdest, smallest creatures hold the biggest evolutionary surprises. They force us to redraw our assumptions about how life is connected.
But sadly, like so many unique species, their future isn't secure, is it? That shiny rump of the golden-rumped Sengi, it's becoming a rarer sight.
Unfortunately, yes, they face major threats. Habitat loss is huge as human populations expand into their territories. Their specialized environments disappear.
And predators. You mentioned eagles and snakes.
Yes, their natural predators are one thing, but human expansion also brings introduced predators, especially feral cats. Cats are incredibly efficient hunters, and for Sengi relying on specific trails, a cat lying in wait is a deadly new threat they haven't really evolved to counter effectively.
A tough situation for such a specialized little animal.
Definitely. Their unique way of life makes them vulnerable when their environment changes rapidly.
So thinking about that unique life,
Yeah.
that reliance on trails, the minimalist cooperation, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? We've talked about this animal that prioritizes speed and independence, yet its survival hinges on this very specific, almost impersonal form of cooperation, keeping those trails clear.
It really does. It prompts a question, maybe for you listening. When does pure independence become less effective than this kind of hyper-focused, minimal teamwork, especially when the stakes are so high?
Yeah, maybe think about our own lives, our own territories.
Hmm.
How much unseen, essential support, those small acts of maintenance or assistance from others, do we actually rely on every day to keep our paths clear, to maintain our own speed and security?
Something to ponder. The hidden networks that allow even the most independent among us to keep running?